Hi YouTube, this is Ryan doing my Q&A video. So I want to just start, go down the list here. Mama Mia BSG is the first question. She says, how has your weight loss surgery status affected your social life? Um, I think the question means just how has my weight loss and after the surgery affected my social life in general. So that's why I'm going to answer it. But it's been great. I mean, my confidence is much higher. I'm actually have a goal for me and my wife to meet new people. One of my best friends that I had out here and his wife and had a little girl the same age as my son recently moved to Lake Tahoe, and so you know so I have a goal to try to reach out a little bit more this year. We're in an area where we've only lived a few years and we haven't met a lot of people, so that would be nice to meet people. So that's part of it. It's giving me courage to attempt that and meet new people and so it's definitely good. I want to do more things outside of the house and go places on my days off and take my family and do things. So that's been really good. One Gorgeous Godzilla, she wrote, um, how tall are you? What is your goal? Is it a number on the scale or a feeling? Great question. I'm 6 foot tall. I am currently, like I said in my video today, 241.8, I believe. Started at 326, but my doctor's goal for me is between 190 and 200, and that's a little higher than the BMI for my height, I believe. But she says because I have a a muscular disposition that I should be able to stay in that higher range. She thinks any lower would be too low. I was thinking that my goal, as far as weight goes, is more like between 215 and 225. But and that's based on when I was in late high school, early college. I was arranged around 285 or 185 to 210 ish, and I really feel like those were good weights. But she says as you get older, and I'll be 34 in a couple months, in a few months. As you get older, your bones weigh less and your body mass is a little bit less. So possibly I could be thinking that a little bit lower than what I was then when I felt good and in great shape might be okay. So I'm going to get down below 200 is my goal. I'm thinking that my weight, I'm okay with it fluctuating around 210 range, I think. But we'll see when we get there. It depends on how I feel. It is definitely a feeling. I have people now coming to me saying, Ryan, you're not going to lose much more weight, are you? You're already, lost, you look like a normal person, you're lost weight. And but yeah, I'm definitely going to get down another 40 pounds and keep doing the weights, trying to build muscle. And want to I really just want to be an athletic person. That's what I always was. Even as I gained weight, I still exercised at times, but it's just with my metabolism and the way genetically I couldn't, and I was eating big quantities of food, not gorging myself and not eating all the time and not always eating bad, but just bigger quantities. So this tool has given me an opportunity to get that part on track. And so with that, I'm able to exercise a lot more. And it's been kind of exciting, to be honest. All right, next question. Tara Mama BSG, and her name is Tiana, I believe. She says, are you and your wife planning to have more kids? Do you want to have another boy or girl? What do you plan on doing once you hit goal? Any special trip, tattoo, reward? Good question. We have one kid, and he's been very challenging. He's a high energy, high ups and some downs, and he's had some other things. So it's been very challenging. So it's kind of put having another one on a back burner. If I had a very easy one at first, it'd probably been like, yeah, let's do that. So at this time, there's no direct plans to have one, but we'll see. Maybe once he starts into kindergarten and gets out of diapers, and we can get things a little more under control with him, because I don't think I have the time, energy, or money at this point to handle another one. But I'm not going to rule it out. Boy or girl, not sure. I'm always only want boys for obvious reasons, sports, and I have to deal with guys knocking on the door. Can I take your daughter out? So, but after having a very challenging boy, maybe a nice, easygoing girl would be nice. What do you do once you hit your goal? My plan was to hit goal. I don't really have anything at this point. Maybe a nice trip. I don't have any tattoos, by the way. I'm not against them at all, but it's just not really something I did and had anything worth meaning to do it for. I thought about doing something maybe for my son. So I won't rule that out either, but maybe a trip, maybe something specific food-wise that I want to eat once that happens. Another question, soon to be Stacy, how many calories of protein do you get in on an average day? How many calories and grams of protein do you get? I would say that calories, I think I'm around 800 calories. Could be lower. I probably have been in the, high sixes, sevens, hundreds, and I've probably got up to 1,000. It just really kind of depends. But I would say if I had to average, and I don't count them all the time, is probably 800-ish grams of protein. I try to get 60 a day. I do drink Premier Protein about once a day, so that's 30. And then I try to get, I've really been trying to focus more on proteins, foods to get proteins like chicken and fish and, all the other things that have a little protein, nuts, vegetables, got a little bit of protein. But so I would say 60 to 80 is the goal, but I don't really necessarily track that very often. But 60 to 80 is kind of what I'm shooting for. Next question is from Seeking Shayla. Did you have the post-surgery, oh God, what I do to myself moment? I hear some people have. If so, what changed your perspective? No, I never had anything like that. I was really fully mentally prepared. Like the first day after the day of surgery, I had a horrible day. I mean, that's well documented. I've talked about it a couple times. But I felt horrible. I was moaning, yelling, just in pain. Nothing worked. Finally, they got me on a better pain meds, but I had a lot of gas pressure in my lower stomach and nausea. But it was really rough. But I had prepared myself enough where I knew that I would get through it. Luckily, within one day, it was like night and day, and I've been obviously getting a lot better every day. And if you look at my early videos, you'll see. But never had an oh shit moment. The only thing the weird thought that comes to mind is I feel forever tainted, forever changed, and there's something strange about that. I have a lot of dreams, and one of the dreams I've had is about vampire dreams. Not necessarily that I'm a vampire though, but vampires. And somehow I relate vampires with this forever tainted thing, and I don't really know why exactly. Yeah, I've watched a lot of vampire movies in my day, but I'm not like a fanatic. But once somebody turns into a vampire, they're that way forever, and they have to live with it. And I kind of feel like this is like that in some strange way. So anyway, that's kind of funny. The Real Share Bear. She says, what has been the most difficult part of your journey so far? And that's all right. That's $1 million question, right? I could probably make 2 videos on just that. But and one of the things that I thought I was going to do this video, and I was going to write all these questions down, group them together, the ones that are similar, put some notes down. But I'm just going, on the fly here, because if I don't, the video might not get out anytime soon. So, but what's been the most difficult part? I would say just adjusting, the people around me adjusting. I'm changing rapidly, my physical, my mindset, and there's a tendency, and I have a lot, now I'm working out a lot more, so I'm working at work full time, then I'm finding time to work out, usually in the morning, so my wife has had to adjust by watching my son, an hour or two before, while he wakes up before he goes to preschool and things like that. So I would say just, and even family, everybody adjusts. We used to do dinners and stuff like that more. So adjusting with people around you with my journey that I'm so focused on, that's probably one of the bigger things. Eating wise, obviously that's challenging, but not so much. I mean, I can't eat very much. I still can't eat very much. I can relate a lot to what Gooch Monster Chris says. He says, you've seen how much weight he lost really fast, and I can relate. I think my sleeve is really small, and I think that it's going to take time to adjust. Maybe it gets a little stretched out over time, but I can't eat a lot, and that's a blessing and a curse. And that's one of the questions that I'll get to, that it's a next person, so I'll save that. But so the food, getting used to that is challenging too. But all that considered, I'd do it 1,000,000 times over again, because I had to have this to get myself back on track. So the next question, like I alluded to, is Westerly Cirrus, which is, I believe, David. He said, based on what you have been able to eat throughout the journey, are you happy with the size of your stomach the surgeon created? So good question. My surgeon never told me the size of I believe it's called a bogey, but she did tell me my last pre-op, appointment that she is going to make my stomach as small, my sleeve as small as possible, the very smallest possible sleeve, I think is her exact quote. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. She's an expert. She's been doing this a long time, many hundreds of thousands of surgeries. And I think they perfected what was just a one-step process to the second step of a bypass years ago, where they perfected, hey, we can just use the sleeve and not have to do a full bypass to achieve the results we want. And the size and the shape of that sleeve, I think, is very important. And she made mine small. I know that Dave's, the person who asked us questions, is a little bit bigger. I think he's at 40, and mine, who knows, 32, 34, whatever the smallest is that legally they can do, probably. So early on, I was kind of like, hey, how is Dave? And if you're watching this, Dave, how are you eating all these things you're talking about eating? I can't even get close to eating that. And it was kind of sad at first, and I felt like I had to push myself to get some of those foods down, but I finally just accepted the fact that I just got to stick with things that are more liquid. If I do eat things that are more dense, I have to chew them up a lot, eat them slowly, and I've gotten used to it. I did have some, chicken yesterday, or no, I tried to eat a chicken burrito. It was kind of a chicken, what's called a very small chicken burrito. I had a few bites, and it just didn't want to go down. I got to the point where I almost decided to try to throw it up, and I haven't done any throwing up. Or it doesn't really throw up, it just gets hung up and you got to kind of regurgitate it. I haven't had to do that, but I almost did yesterday during my lunch. So I just got to stick to my guns and stay liquid. You start thinking, oh, maybe I can just have anything as long as I eat small enough. But no, they didn't like the flour tortilla. And I didn't chew. I was really hungry, and I didn't chew it up fast and could process it in my mouth enough before. But I'm happy with my sleeve size. I think that over time I will be able to eat a little more, and so. Like I know, what's his name? Chris Waffle. He said that his sleeve wasn't as small, and so now he can eat good amounts. And so I think as time goes on, I'll be thankful looking back 2, 3 years, 4 years out, and knowing that yeah, my sleeve has expanded maybe a bit, but it's still relatively small, and giving me that restriction I need, because I'm blessed to have the restriction. Yeah, sometimes I wish I can eat a little more, and chow down, but hey, I'd rather have a lifelong of health than being able to eat a bunch of food that obviously I don't need. I mean, I have never been more health. I haven't been healthy as I am now in a long time. I haven't. I don't have energy issues really. I have more energy because I exercise and I'm eating right. So our bodies don't need that much to survive. My body genetically can do a lot with a little bit of food, and that's what I've noticed, and that's what I've always been kind of concerned about. I feel like. And I've heard this quoted in a documentary before about weight loss, about how our bodies have adapted. Some of our bodies just can get by with very, very small amounts of food, and they're efficient. They can store the food properly, store it where it needs to be stored at. And I think that's my case. This is a proven testament to that. But anyway, good question, Dave. Next question, VSG Kathy. How are your energy levels? Do you find chores and projects at home easier now? And if so, do you do more of them? 100% yes, all of them. I do much more yard work. I do much more around the house. I have much more energy at my job. I wake up early now, go to the gym. All that stuff is way better, and blessed. So next question, Billy's journey. Most surprising part of your journey this far? I don't know. Surprising. It's all kind of surprising in a way, but I think I'm surprised of how well I've done, in a way. How well I've done, how much weight I'm able to get off, how much exercise I'm able to get. I mean, I had a knee that flared up on me, and I was able to work through that, almost like an athlete would that is training for something. I said, hey, I'm going to find a way. I had a week where I couldn't do anything, got to a gym with a swimming pool, started swimming. Now my knee's doing better. Yeah, I'm not going to rush out and go running on concrete anytime soon until I talk to my doctor in a few days, orthopedic, and maybe get another MRI. But I'm still getting exercise. I'm still burning calories. And so just how well I've done, I would say that I surprised myself a little bit in a great way. Next question. This is from another one from One Gorgeous Godzilla. Have you noticed in people treat you differently? Men, women, coworkers, strangers, etc. Some men have reported renewed desire or interest in sexy time. Have you found that to be the case? Have any skin issues? Or you exercise or weight training? If so, how often? Okay, so I'll address some of that I already talked about, but weight training, yeah. So I'm going to the gym, or at least working out at home almost every day. probably, let's say 5 days a week. But even the days I'm not, I'm probably getting a walk in or something. So yes, I'm doing the weight training, and I'm doing light weights, high rep. Are you having any skin issues? Not really any skin issues. If anything, in between my thighs. That's probably my weak area. A little bit, like one day I'll show my arms, but I don't really have a lot of loose skin under my arms. Through here, I know that is where I had a lot of weight stored. I feel like it starts storing then after I start taking the thyroid pill based recommended by a doctor, but we'll get into that some other time. Sexually, yeah, I think it's coming back around. It's funny because after surgery, initially I had no desire. I couldn't even think about it. It was a weird thing. I had no desire for maybe I don't know, weeks, months, or it hasn't been that long. A week, couple weeks, a month. But it's starting to come back around. So we're definitely going to be addressing that. But the biggest important question that she asked is, do people treat you differently? And yes, I've been on this side of the fence a couple of times, and I think this is a very important point. People have talked about it plenty, but I heard a stat the other day that people are 300 times less likely to get a job from an interview or a promotion if you're overweight. So 300 times less likely, and so that's crazy. But I work with the public, and so I deal with people, and I've noticed that it's much easier for me to recommend things, services, sales to people, and guys or girls. People are more likely to approach me. I'm no longer, the big heavy person that people kind of avoid when they go to sit next to people. Which is, I was thinking today as I was swimming, actually, if you go to a movie theater or any place that you're going to sit down with a lot of people, it used to be when I was bigger, I felt like it was kind of nice because people would look over at the aisle and say, okay, do I want to sit next to the big guy, or will I sit next to the skinny girl over here if I'm going to crunch somebody because it's tight? They're going to go by the smaller person. And so I won't have that advantage anymore. But, but people just in passing treat you differently. I've seen this twice. I wrote a paper in English class about it my freshman year when I was a chubby kid, was in the best shape of my life, probably my freshman year of college. Wrote a paper about it because it's night and day how people treat you. When you don't have extra weight and you look more appealing. I think my boss treats me better. I think she treats me a lot better, and it's sad, but she's from a different culture, a different country, and things I think I don't know, maybe more materialistic there or not. I'm not even going to say. I mean, it's just a fact. It's not right. It's not ethically right for people to treat somebody better because of how they look. But it's a fact, and I don't believe in it. I don't agree with it. There's support groups, and there's discrimination groups for all types of minorities and different groups that are discriminated against. And I think one of the biggest ones we have in this country right now is overweight people are discriminated against, whether it's jobs, whether it's girlfriends, boyfriends, whether it's when you go into a store, just any clothing stores. You're treated a different way, and so it sucks, but it's the way it is, and all we can do as a person is try not to judge another person based on their weight, and try to be as encouraging to them as you can any other person, and so that's what I try to do there. But anyway, good questions on that one. Let's move ahead. Lori Flower says, have you tried any of the Centrex and Matrix protein? It's my absolute favorite. No, I haven't. I have two different types of protein powders that I can mix. One's both from GNC. One's unflavored. One's a chocolate. Actually, the chocolate one I got at Walmart. I barely used them, to be honest with you. I like the pre-made. I'm an on-the-go person. I like the Premier Protein. It's pre-made. I've tried using the Premier Proteins, the vanilla and the chocolate blended with other things, but I can't say. I'd like to use the unscented more in my fruit smoothies, which hopefully I add, but no, I haven't tried those ones. Ron Pavesi says, I'm 14 weeks out and still find eating many foods to be painful. A lot of stinging acid and bubbles. Do you have the same feeling, or could you describe what it feels like when you eat a piece of chicken as opposed to yogurt? Thanks. Good question. I kind of mentioned it, I think in my video today, my other video, but yeah, dense proteins are much harder. Feeling full is a whole different thing. It's not feeling full used to feel good. Like you feel full and you go sit on the recliner and you watch a good football game. That was like, and drink beers and have a few bites of wings and have that full feeling. Those were good times. Now full, especially with denser meats and things, is an annoying feeling. It's borderline like you got it in, you know it's going to be 30 minutes before you really start feeling better. And I can definitely agree. Maybe an acidity feeling like you mentioned, but just it feels like it needs to settle better in the stomach. So I still get them. I still have problems. Certain things go down better than others, and some days are better. Yesterday was a bad day. I had that lunch, and it was a little bit of tortilla and chicken and some cheese, and I think I just didn't chew it enough. But it's the whole rest of the day you want to be careful what you eat. I think I stuck mostly liquids the rest of the day. So yeah, definitely. Hopefully that gets better for you, Ron, and hopefully it gets better for me. Jennifer Ricketts is the next question. Is your family supportive of your decision to have surgery? Yes, everybody was very supportive. My wife initially wasn't, but she came around after seeing a lot of videos that I was watching on YouTube and things like that. My mom was very supportive from the beginning. I have an aunt, my mom's sister, that had an RNY many years ago, so she was very supportive. She gave me some tips and hints. Of course, I did a lot of research, so I was able to speak on that at a high level with any family. My wife's parents that live here in the town, they didn't really know and understand all of it, but I think in general they thought it was a great idea for me to turn my health around. So they've been pretty cool. My dad, on the other hand, is a heavier man, and he could really use the surgery. I'm not going to push that on him or be an advocate. Hopefully, by leading by example, he'll see that there's some positive things to it. But he's heavier than me, heavier than I was, and older, and so I worry about him quite a bit and his health and heart attacks and things like that. So, but he wasn't supportive necessarily at the beginning, and I was kind of hesitant to talk to him about it. But he had heard through the grapevine through my mom that I was going to do it. But eventually, he came around, and he's been very supportive, since then. He expressed, his concern, or, but he said, "Hey, I trust your decisions, Ryan. I trust, hey, you're going down to Santa Barbara. I'm sure they have great doctors down there. I'm sure you've researched it," and I had. But he's a little hesitant to learn about it. He gets a little freaked out by surgery and things like that. But he's been a great support, and so maybe one day he'll be a sleeper one day. So. Next question, VSG Bulldog. Any regrets? And has your relationship with your wife changed at all? So, no regrets at all. I would do this over and over a million times. I mean, I tried to get my weight down on my own through exercise and eating better. Not even close. Not even close. So this is no regrets at all. The wife's relationship, yeah, we're doing well. It's been a journey for both of us to get used to, and she's been eating better, she's been losing weight, and so I think she's feeling better about herself. I am. We still have the challenges of both working full time and having a son that's almost 3, so that weighs in. But I think things are getting better, and I'm hoping that as I become a better version of myself, I can be a better husband. So I have confidence that will get better as we go. Sleeve Rocker put, do you worry about any long-term effects of having weight loss surgery? Which aspect of the journey or final destination are you most apprehensive about? What comes to mind here is I'm really concerned that I'm going to have a gallbladder issue and gallstones and have to have my gallbladder removed. Every little pain I feel, I'm like, is that what that feels like? I get this little cramp and then my back. I think it's just my back adjusting to the different weights. I carried most of my weight in my stomach before, and I still do. So, but I get like that weird feeling. I don't even know if that's the feeling, but I've read about the people that have had the gallbladder issue has had some things like that. So that's probably the biggest thing I worry about, because I don't want to do another surgery like this, and so I'm apprehensive about that. At one point I felt like I wanted to slow the weight loss down to help with that, but now I'm just full force ahead, exercise, eating better, and whatever happens, happens. All I can do is take my vitamins, eat my protein, go to the gym, make good choices in life as best I can. So bring it on. That's what's going to happen. So Maya Latina 3 says, what is change in you so far as your wife been most surprised by? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I just think, I don't know if she's necessarily been surprised, because she knows that I'm a very determined person when I get my mind to something. And so this has been something I put my mind to, and, I've been determined. And so I want to say surprised that I've done lost as much weight as I have, and exercised and got up early, because I've never wanted to get up early to go to the gym. But the last few weeks I have been getting up at like 6:30 or so and going to the gym many days. And so I'll say that getting up in the morning early and exercising, because that's, especially with sleep apnea, that wasn't something that was going to happen. So I'll go with that. Last question here, Bonnie RNY. She says, this week and up to the night before surgery, what did you do to help with your anxiety? So the trick is to really stay positive, to be confident in your choice, make the choice, and go with it. I watched a lot of videos, went back to when people that are well-known YouTube VSGers and RNYers, their days before leading up, their days after. Just the more knowledge I had, the more comfortable I felt. And I wanted to see some of the bad scenarios that happened, and I appreciate people for having the courage to post things about negatives that they were dealing with. And but those helped me. Like, the more knowledge I had, the more comfortable I felt. I went into that surgery. I joked around with the nurse as they loaded me up. I joked around with the anesthesiologist. I woke up in the worst pain and dealt with it and fought through it like a survivor would have to in your time of need. So just do your best to stay positive. Rely on the people that support you. Have a good crew around you, and watch videos, study, learn your stuff, know exactly what to expect when you go in and when you wake up. So that's what I would say. So anyway, guys, that's my Q&A video, and just want to go ahead and end it here. I am going to post, maybe add to this end of this video, I'm not even sure yet, or make a separate video of the winner of my random drawing. So stay tuned for that. Thanks. All right, guys, time for the giveaway winner. And I don't know who it is right now, because we're going to go on random.org right now and decide. So 16 people posted a question about my weight loss surgery. Pretty sure they're all subscribers of mine, which is the qualifications. And we're going to go to random.org and figure this out. So I'll show you here. Let's go. Make sure you can see it. So we're going to go right here. I'm going to put 16 people. I'm going to generate. 11 is the person. So if I go down to my video, so it is Ron Pavesi. So Ron Pavesi, you are the winner. All you have to do is put your all you have to do is email me or Facebook me, message me if you have Facebook. If not, post a message in this video, Ron, and I'll message you back. We'll find a way to get your address, but somehow I need you to get my address. I'm Ryan's Journey, 2 words, on Facebook, so you can message me there and give me your address, and I'll send out that package within the week or so. I am including 2 Premier Protein shakes. 3 protein shakes, 2 Quest bars, flavor I'm choosing, it's a secret, and also I'm going to put a paraphernalia for the area I live in. I live in an area that does a lot of printing on things and touristy stuff, so that's kind of a surprise also, but so maybe a couple other things. But so I'll send that package out as soon as I get that. You have until Friday to get back to me with an address, or I'm going to do another random pick and pick somebody else. So, all right, guys. Well, you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.